got a ring to think then again. I'm such a winner, I'll win again. Some think I'm a Viking or maybe a wizard. I feel like I'm both when I'm in the ring. Victory brings serenity. I give him a three-piece, that's for the three-peat, and then I leave with the Trinity. True baller got all the amenities. All the others just wanna be mini-me's. Haters mad when they in my vicinity.
What's going on, everybody? Happy August 6th. Why is August 6th an important day to me? Because it is our entrepreneur birthday. Cassie and I are celebrating 12 years of being entrepreneurs. Listen, it's always kind of weird when we discuss this because technically speaking, we were actually entrepreneurs before August 6th, 2012, but that was the official start date of our first ever LLC. So we made it our entrepreneur birthday, celebrating 12 years. It's been a long journey. We're excited to celebrate 12 years. Not many people make it 12 years as entrepreneurs. So it's an honor to still be standing. I would say I have not done everything perfect along the way. I've tried to kill the journey along the way, but we've learned a lot. It's a blessing to still be here. It's a blessing to serve you guys and to come here on this beautiful Tuesday. Today, we're going to be doing film review of a video that we just posted on the channel a couple of days ago. It did really well, had some great feedback. And I thought to myself, I was talking to Nick about, hey, what are we planning for the content? And we had not done film review in probably 6 or 7 months. And we know it's been a hit in the past with you guys, me actually breaking down one of my calls so I could stop, pause, explain why I'm doing, what am I thinking, what am I doing behind the scenes, and kind of give you some insight into my mind when I'm doing acquisition. So I'm excited to be able to do that on this call. This is a very unique close. It was during the 50-50-50. It's kind of in a rural location in New York. It was an inbound lead. To be honest with you, I didn't really want to close the deal. And I think you'll kind of see that. I was embracing no throughout the conversation, and I was hesitant to be able to close because, to be quite frank, I didn't think we were the best option. And because of that hesitancy, because of that embracing no throughout, I discovered more pain and motivation, and we'll see that throughout the call that eventually leads to the close. So excited to be able to go through that. Appreciate the support in the comments and all the people that have reached out that knew that August 6th is an important day for everyone here at Titanium Investments, and especially me and Cassie. It means the world that we get that support from you guys, but also just the fact that I feel like our business is in the best place that it's ever been at the 12-year anniversary mark. That's awesome to be able to say that, because sometimes it's like, yeah, I mean, we're treading water and we're surviving. I felt that way many a times on August 6th. I actually feel like we're thriving at this point, so it's awesome. What's up, Michael T? Good to see you back in the comments, man. Appreciate you. Patrick, what's up, Mr. Titanium University fam? What's up, Eric? All right, let's get into this. Let's pull up today's video. Let's get it going.
Hello?
Hello, is Bob there?
Speaking.
Hey, Bob, this is RJ Bates calling about your property on East Main Street. How are you doing?
Oh, fine.
All right, right off the bat, I'm going to critique myself. I critique anybody inside the Titanium University family that does this. Sometimes we could go quite a while without talking to someone, and I believe that was the case here, where it had been a little bit since someone had answered the phone, and I asked them, how are you doing? To be honest with you, do I really care? Not really. That only opens up the possibility for there to be something negative to happen there, where it's like, oh, I'm having a terrible day. Now's not a good time. I eliminate that. Just, hey, this is RJ Bates. I was calling about 123 Main Street. Saw that you had entered this on my website. Are you still looking to sell? That would have been the preferred way. I added a potential barrier to this being a productive conversation. So eliminate that from your intros. You had entered this on my website saying that you were interested in selling that property. Is that correct?
I am. I'm just very skeptical of offers like this, though.
Okay. Well, what are you skeptical of?
People offering to pay cash for something sight unseen and just from a brief survey kind of thing.
Okay, so this is important because right off the bat, the seller lets us know that he's highly skeptical, right? I'm a little bit skeptical of this. And this it obviously throws you off of your rhythm and your cadence that you're used to, because not many sellers are going to say right out of the gates that they're skeptical, right? So the important part of this is, and the reason why we don't feel that the closer's formula is a script, is because it gives you the foundation of what you want to accomplish during the call, but it's all based around your ability to improvise and to flow within the conversation. So right here, what would be the next question that I would want to ask him, right? Are you looking to sell is the first question. Yes. Second question would be, how much are you looking to get for it? And then we're going to say, well, tell me a little bit about what you got going on. Well, what he's done here is he's already kind of gone into, tell me a little bit about what you got going on, because he's saying, yeah, I'm interested in selling, but I'm skeptical about your process. Okay. Now, there's many different ways to handle this. What you're going to see here is I give a little bit of a chuckle, right? And I'm going to kind of undermine his fear a little bit. Essentially just kind of saying, like, that's not a fear that you should have, and then kind of eliminate it altogether by making him feel better about our process. But case in point, you have to always be prepared for these types of moments. You just never know what a seller is going to say. That's why I always give scripts such a hard time, because it's like, if you're relying on having to say a certain thing at a certain time and expect a certain type of answer, it's never going to flow that way. This obviously brings up a huge red flag right out of the beginning, right, with wanting to embrace no when a seller actually openly admits to being skeptical. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, we haven't even started the process yet. I mean, it's not unseen. I mean, we're going to come see the property. So it's not like we're just never going to see the property and just, send you money.
Yeah, that's how it came across on the website.
Well, I mean, the offer can be sight unseen, but I mean, I'm going to ask you some questions and get some idea about the property. I mean, but yeah. So what's got you looking to sell the property?
I'd like to retire, and I can't afford it once I retire.
Understood. All righty. Did you have an idea of how much you wanted to get for the property?
Around 300.
Okay. Okay. One thing I want you to kind of take notice of, I'm pretty standoffish right here in this portion of the call. Like, I'm almost acting annoyed. I'm letting my feelings be known to the seller that I don't even know if I want to continue through this conversation. And the reason why I'm doing that is because at some point in time, I want that seller to begin chasing me in the conversation. And as of right now, with him saying he's skeptical about this process, he doesn't even know if he wants to sell. It didn't sit well with me in the time. And I don't think that we should run from our emotions in that moment. If that's the emotion that it's making me feel, then I want to express that so I can allow that seller to feel my authenticity. Because otherwise, if they feel like I am trying to heavily close them, I feel like that's going to make them run away even more. So allowing him to see that I am kind of bothered by that question, I personally think that's beneficial to what happens much later in the conversation. So don't be afraid to show emotions and reactions to a seller asking you a question that you might not appreciate. And it's 3126 square feet. Is that right?
That's correct.
What's the condition of the property like?
It's nicely landscaped, got a pool, gazebo in the grounds. The house has had some renovations done in the past decade. I mean, it is an old property, an old house.
Right.
I don't know if I mentioned that.
Okay, so the reason why I immediately went into condition is because I asked him how much does he want for the property. He says $300,000. I said, just to verify this is 3,100 square feet, right? Yes. What's the condition like? The reason why I asked that is because when I've already got this pulled up, probably in PropStream or Privy, some comping software, and what I'm seeing is that value. I'm already deciding which seller bucket I'm placing him in. I obviously understand there's some sort of motivation to get him selling because he says, you know, I want to retire. Don't know if that means he's highly motivated or just slightly. But to me, I'm already leaning towards the price is incorrect. And that's why I'm going into condition, because it's like, all right, if this is perfect condition and the price is incorrect, I'm probably going to extremely embrace no and just try to get off of the phone. I already don't like the fact that he's skeptical. I'm not vibing with his energy. I want to embrace no on this call. I want to get off of it. And so right early on here, that's why I'm going into condition to just kind of get an idea. Is there a physical distress element that could potentially allow him to be more motivated to want to sell this at a discount? That's why I'm going into condition so early.
It was built in 1860, but it's the first floor is essentially all new.
Gotcha.
I mean, obviously, it's an older house. It's going to show a little wear, but it's quite habitable. Quite a beautiful place.
Yeah, as I was going to say, just looking at the pictures, I mean, it's a beautiful property. It's huge, but it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Walking towards the path of saying no already. Scrolling through. I don't know when these pictures are from. Let's see.
I don't know what pictures you're looking at, so I couldn't tell you.
It's pictures, I guess, from the listing from 2019.
Well, that would give you an approximate date.
My silence here is my lack of reaction to, well, that gives you an approximate date. Again, I'm just not really vibing with him. And I don't know if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, but I'm wanting to embrace that authenticity throughout. And I normally there, I'll be honest with you, I probably would give it a chuckle or something. But I can tell you at this point right now, and in the conversation, I'm 3 minutes and 21 seconds in. I am beyond, like, I am already trying to figure out how can I get off. This is not the guy that I want to do business with. I don't like how this conversation is going. I really just want to move on from this call. Inside right now, I am 1,000% done with this conversation. Gotcha. Okay. Well, let me look around the area here real quick. So while I'm doing that, what makes you skeptical about people making offers on properties from like you reaching out?
Well, like I said, it's just something that doesn't seem logical, I suppose. It would be great if it could happen, but, I'm just naturally skeptical things that seem too good to be true.
I gotcha. Well, yeah, I mean, it's what we do for a living. So, I mean, it's pretty easy for us because it's we base it off of age of house, information that's provided to us, property values within certain parameters of the house. So for you, I mean, it's pretty easy. I can pull up comps and within a half-mile radius, I get a good solid amount of similar square footage, similar age. I don't get similar lot size. You have more acreage than the majority of your neighbors. But then from there, it's just as simple as, hey, let me look at the picture, see what it looks like. And then everything is from that point on just kind of based off of numbers of square footage. So it can be pretty simple as long as, you know, the person on the other end of the phone is forthcoming with information and honest, you know. But if they're not honest, then they just waste both of our time. And we go out there, we take a look and say, hey, you weren't honest, so we're not going to buy your house. Does your house have any additions, or was that how it was originally built?
What I know is just basically what I read through the very thick title deed booklet.
Right.
Had an initial section, I cannot tell you which because I'm not certain, that was built back in 1860, and then it had several sections apparently added to it. But again, I cannot tell you which because I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm exploring. Well, one, I educated him on the process to kind of get him to relax a little bit more on the being skeptical. Second, I am exploring with any questions. Honestly, I don't really care too much about the addition question. I probably wanted to understand because maybe I saw quite a few comps in like the 2,600 square foot range, and ours is in the 3,100 square foot. And maybe I'm just curious if there was an addition. Maybe I saw something funky on the backside of the house with a flat roof or something like that. Maybe that's why I'm exploring there about the additions, but I honestly don't care. Really what I'm trying to do is get them to talk about anything, because if you could get a seller to start talking, they're going to naturally evolve into talking about their motivation for wanting to sell at some point in time. And so I'm really just trying to decide. I know that the price is incorrect, so I know we're going to have to get them down on price. I'm now just trying to see if there's enough motivation to even go the education route to try to get the price down. That's what these somewhat filler questions are at this point. Lots of awkward silence here. Well, taking a look at it, I would think in order to get 300,000.
You think what?
I said in order to get 300,000, I think probably your best route would be to list with a realtor, to be honest with you. You've got a couple of comps in the area that are a little bit more. There's a really good comp on Front Street that sold for like $355. That's similar to your house, but it is very remodeled on the inside.
I think I heard about that one.
Yeah. So like to us, that's probably the best. The house has a little bit more square footage, but it has less lot. So those kind of even themselves out a little bit.
They don't.
What's that?
And they don't have a pool.
Correct. So maybe your house could be worth a little bit more if it was fixed up. But even if I said I pushed it all the way to 400,000, if it was remodeled, I'm probably still going to be like in the low twos just from an investment standpoint. I think if you were to list it on the open market, though, I think you could get pretty close to 300,000 based off of what I'm seeing in the area. So I think you could get more by listing it, unless there was just some reason as to why you don't want to list it. But it sounds to me like it's very important to you to get as much as you possibly can. And if that's the case, I think that's the best part about that is to list it with a realtor. Okay, so that's me embracing no, but also leaving the door open there. If you notice, there was several times where I said things like, unless there's just some motivation that I'm not understanding, I feel like you want to get as much as possible out of this property. So I'm kind of making some assumptions there, hoping that if I want to close on this deal, he can come back and he can say things like, well, I don't have to get 300,000, or no, that's not that important to me. I got to open it up to him where I gave him multiple different routes to decide where he wants to take this, if the solution of listing with a realtor is not the one that he wants to take. But I also gave myself to just get off of this phone call, and I'm only 8 minutes and 13 seconds in, which quite frankly, for an embrace no phone call is a pretty lengthy time.
Let me give you a little bit more information. The fact is, again, I just told you I cannot, retire until I sold the house.
Right.
It's just going to be more than I will be bringing in with retirement. In any case, it's fine now, except I'm also supporting 2 homes because I'm not living in the area right now. So that's costly, which is why I want to do it quickly. But
Gotcha.
I just basically want to make a reasonable profit for my investment, and 300 is just sort of a starting point, a thought, basically, based upon basically the same market research you've been doing. And so, I am very flexible, even if it's, obviously in the 200s, that's very reasonable. Now, what I would like to consider, it sounds like you just buy these, fix them up more, and then sell them for a profit, I assume?
Correct.
What I would like is, per your suggestion of trying a realtor, to get a little bit more out of it, go that route initially, and if it doesn't sell in a short while, again, because I have a bit of a timeline I've got to make in order to not go broke paying for 2 places, then I can get back in touch with you, and we can then negotiate at that point.
Let me ask you a question. You have a mortgage on this, correct?
I do.
Okay, so I embrace no. I tell him he should go list with the realtor. I give him a couple of doors to walk through. He busts through them. Okay, probably more so than the vast majority of sellers. He literally says, "Let me give you some more information," and he still hasn't given all the information. There's going to be more that comes along as the call proceeds. This is the reason. This is one of the many benefits of embracing no and walking away. Right? I say it all the time. The people that can get over the fear of embracing no and walking away will have sellers chasing after them. It feels weird when you're doing it, especially when you need to close a deal. But right here, I am not acting like I need to buy his house. But he now is acting like he needs to sell his house. We have shifted the roles in this call where the vast majority of people are trying to convince the seller to sell their property for a discount, where now he is going to be convincing me to buy his house for a discount. That is the objective. That is where you need to get yourself to. And if you can have that mentality going into every call, you will close more deals. And the way that you get there is step one is by embracing no when you are talking to a seller. And throughout this call, I mean, I've been standoffish, borderline rude, acting like I don't care. Literally told him I think you should go hire a realtor unless there's just something I don't understand. Everything has been no to this point. And now that he chased after me, now I'm going to go down and I'm going to explore some more. So that's why I'm going. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a mortgage on this property? I don't quite remember why I asked that question, but we're about to find out. I'm sure I'll understand here in a second. How much do you owe on the mortgage?
It's 137. Obviously, it would
Okay.
much more than that.
Well, yeah, the reason why I was hey, that's good for you. I was hoping it was more, because if it wasn't a whole lot different, then one of the ways that we could do it is I take over that mortgage and then just write you a check for your takeaway cash, which is a lot easier. And we can usually pay more for properties, but because you have so much equity, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for me to write you a check for like 120 grand. You know, I might as well just buy the whole thing at that point, you know? So that's good for you, not good for my idea. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem, Bob, with you, you know, testing the waters out. And if it doesn't work, you know, giving us a call and seeing what we can do at that point. But that's what I was going to say. I would probably be in the low 200s. That's probably where I would come in.
And I would be open to that. So that's, you know, I'm almost tempted right this second, except I don't want to just jump, as it were.
I don't want you to be honest. Like, this is how much I'm embracing no. I literally tell them, I don't want you to accept my offer. And I'm being 100% genuine in this scenario right here. This is not, you know, for the camera or for anything like that. I was actually being serious. I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, you could list this and make a lot more money. This is what I always say. Will the motivation match the price that we need? That's what we need to find out. Now, I'm not necessarily saying at this point I have established and identified that there is that much motivation. But I did say, range-wise, I need to be in the low 200s, and he comes out and says, and I would be open to that. So we back-asswards our way into finding out that his motivation is that strong that he is willing to match the price that we need, the discount that we need. This is just one of those like crazy calls that you just don't expect. And I mean, in 11 minutes and 42 seconds, we went from the man saying, I am beyond skeptical. I don't even know how this could be real, to now saying, when I'm saying you want 300, I need to be in the low 200s, and he's saying I'm open to that. The power of walking away from a deal. It makes you the buyer, and it makes them sell you. This should be like your ultimate takeaway from this call. Just being honest with you, like, I mean, what I could do for you is, I mean, like, essentially you're trying to avoid making another mortgage payment next month, right?
Well, that'd be nice, but let me tell you one more thing. There is still a little bit of interior work that's being done currently to make things more saleable and so on. We had a little bit of a water issue a little bit ago, and so we are having that stuff renovated right now. The problem is it won't. I just got off the phone with the contractors just a moment ago. they're not looking to finish it till sometime in August. So I'm even not probably going to be able to put it on the market until that's done. So in any case, I'm just, again, being very forthright.
Right.
It will be completely ready, completely done, totally inspected. I mean, I should say certified for any kind of mold issues and that sort of thing, you know. So it'll be totally habitable, obviously, and I live in it on the weekends now anyway. But the point is, again, being fully 100% forthright, but it will be completely ready by sometime in August for anyone to move in at that point, or to, you know, just buy it, whatever you ought to do with it. So,
Well, if that's the case, I mean, do you want me to see if I can, in the meantime, potentially come in a little bit higher and get closer to 300 and see if we can just get this done before? Honestly, it's like, if I were to buy it, I'd almost tell you, like, hey, just stop the work, you know? So it's like, because I'm going to come in and do my own work.
that would be interesting. I would be,
Because, like,
probably not to.
because right now they're working on it and they're going to take it until August. What all are they doing?
They have to rebuild a small portion of one of the bedroom ceilings and some of the walls. There was a water leak in one of the bathrooms, and they just have to take care of that.
Gotcha. Huh. Are they out there working every single day?
But they're working frequently. I can't say every day.
Right. I gotcha. Well, this feels like it's kind of a reverse scenario. Normally, it would be like, hey, it's not a good fit for the investor. Why don't you go ahead and list it so you can get more? But now it's like, well, you're going to have to wait to list it.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, instead of just doing nothing while you're waiting, I guess I could send people out there to kind of look at it, get me numbers on what it would cost, and then I could firm up my offer number to you. So that way you're not just sitting and making an August payment, or probably making a July payment, then an August payment, and then potentially even a September payment. I mean, you're going the realtor route, you're staring at a minimum of probably 3 more mortgage payments at least. So here's the situation that what I have determined where we could come in. There's going to be this dead zone where no work's happening on the property. And so what I'm seeing here is yeah, I've embraced no, but he is open to selling it as is right now at a discount at a price that I have already identified that I would need it at. So it's kind of a no-lose situation for us where it's like, all right, we've already paid for this lead. We could contract it right now. We could send it to our buyers. We could get offers back from our buyers. And then we could let the seller know, like, hey, this is what we need to be at if the price is not correct. And he could either say yes or no. And in his scenario, he's just going to be sitting there and accumulating holding costs this entire time. So for me, what I've identified right now is there's a time gap here where we're not costing him money. He's going to be doing nothing with the property anyways during the time because he's going to be waiting on his contractors. Why not take a swing at it and see if we can move this deal?
I agree. I mean, I, of course, already paid the July, but there's still August and probably September come up.
And when you look at the days on market of the active properties, it's 46, 54, 72, 32, 75, 145. And the pending was 36. So you're looking at probably another 60 to 70 days there So say 2 more payments and then another 3. You're probably staring at 5 payments to sell on the market.
Yeah.
That's
Understood. That's why I'm very considering going your route.
Yeah. Okay.
It's what interested me in when I saw your website.
So that's what I was saying. Like, my suggestion would be to list with the realtor unless there's some need, as the way you sell it, need to sell fast. And then it's like, well, now my mind's kind of shifting and going, yeah, I mean, if you just need to be done, and if you say you sell this and you could walk away with, you said you're at like 130, say you could walk away with like $90,000 to $100,000.
That would be fine.
Right.
That would be most acceptable.
Gotcha. Now I'm starting to understand. So now, do you guys think that during this call, he can feel my authenticity of trying to solve his problem and not just contract a deal? Because I honestly believe that one of the biggest issues that the majority of people have when they're talking to sellers is that, and I refer to it as embracing no, but it's chasing that getting that signed contract, chasing the closed deal. And the seller can feel that emotion. They can feel that maybe the closer doesn't have their best interest at heart. I believe this seller right here wholeheartedly believes that I have his best interest at heart, because I do. And he believes that I am being 1,000% authentic on this call, because I asked enough questions. I even went down the path of walking away. And now he understands how I got to my solution. He sees that and he understands it. I also have to just reiterate, because I haven't talked about it in a while. This is another benefit of being the shot caller on the phone, right? If there was the Wizard of Oz back there, the finance department or the underwriter, and then they were coming back and they were the ones doing this, he is not going to open up and believe, well, because it's his biggest fear. He's skeptical, right? He knows that he's talking to a real person that's being authentic, that is making a decision on the phone. That's why he's opening up here. So what I need to, if I had people to send over there to go look at it, is there access availability? Like, is there a lockbox that they could go view the property and stuff?
There is a lockbox. FYI, when I had sent in the survey thing to you guys last week, I did not have a realtor.
Gotcha.
I still have not signed a contract with a realtor, but I did meet with one last night, and she put a lockbox on one of the doors so that there is a key available, but I don't know how to convey that to you unless you have some way of conveying through them.
Is it one of those fancy realtor lockboxes?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cell phone and all that.
Well, I could also send people over there when your contractors are working too.
That is true, and also I have a friend who comes down a couple times a week to take care of things like taking trash out and whatever.
And we could totally arrange it to when they're going to be there as well.
Right. I'm going to be unavailable. I mean, by phone I can obviously talk, but I won't be able to get to the house at all in the next 2 weeks after Thursday this week, because I'm going on a vacation.
Where are you going?
Tennessee.
I just came back from Tennessee. My son had a travel hockey tournament in Nashville. That was the first time I've ever spent time in Nashville. It was a pretty cool city.
We're headed.
There you go. We went down to Broadway Street, where the Bridgestone Arena, where the Predators play hockey, and walked up and down there. Man, Saturday afternoon, every single restaurant had live music playing, so it was a lot of fun.
Yes, the contractors are frequently there, but I couldn't tell you exactly when. My son also lives in the general area. He's about 20 minutes away or so, 15 minutes. But if you have a time that you can have someone there, I can try and get him to go there. He's not very reliable.
Understood. So let's figure out how we want to do this, because I just take notice of how this conversation is taking place right now. Some of this might feel like not a lot's happening, but we're a team at this point. Like, we're literally working on figuring out how to make this deal go down together. Like, if you can get into this spot with a seller, dude, you're winning. I mean, you're winning at life. You're winning at your business. You are winning at the purpose of being a wholesaler. Like, we are solving this man's problem, where it's a genuine problem. Like, it's what's withholding him from retirement. And we're opening up an opportunity where we can monetize this position and make money. This is what we do. If you can get where you are working with the seller as a team, I mean, how awesome can it? It can't get any more awesome than that moment. This is an amazing position to be at, and I love being in this position where it's like what I'm saying right here. All right, let's figure out how we can do this together. Right? This is not, oh, this is how I am going to figure out. No, we are going to work on this. People love that. Like, and if you can really convey that to a seller on repeat, you are going to close as many deals as you want to. But normally the way that we do things is I say, here's my price. You sign a contract. I go out there, I view the property, and I say, yep, we're good. We close 30 days later. Or I say, hey, I can't do that based off my walkthrough. Here's the new price I need to be at. And you say, okay, I can do that, or no, I can't do that. And we separate or we close. So how do you want to do this? Preferably what I would say is we come up with a number. Say in this case, like, you're at 130 on the loan. I say, let's say it's 230. So that way the number that we're starting with gives you $100,000 in your pocket.
It's actually 137 still on the loan.
Okay. So 237. So let's just start there where you're walking away with $100,000. So,
and I would love to do that.
That gives me the ability to go out there, walk the property, see what I can do. And then when I come back and say, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm going to come back and say I need to be less than that. I'm fairly certain, but I'm just letting you know that up front. I'm not going to try to poke you in the eyeballs. I'm just going to make it what I need it to be. And then you can say, yeah, let's do it, or no. And I should have that answer to you probably in 10, 14 days, which you weren't going to do anything during those 10 to 14 days anyways, besides wait on your contractor. So it doesn't hurt you at all. So that is a full-blown set the expectations explanation to the seller about what is going to happen, how the price is being set, that we're going to sign a contract, that we're going to come out, we're going to do our inspection, and also setting the expectation for that there is going to be a phone call where there is a potential of the renegotiation of the price. So when we come back and we say, hey, we were at 237, but we really need this at 215, the seller is expecting that to take place. And I think that's where a lot of times when we go into this conversation, that lacks. Like we're just not doing that enough. We're not setting that expectation with the seller. This right here is critical to your ability to have the opportunity to renegotiate price later on. And no one knows that you're going under contract. It's not like listed on the MLS where everyone knows that you went under contract. No one knows except for me and you, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah, the only issue with the contractors is the insurance is being involved to cover this stuff.
Right.
And all that. So obviously, I can send them back what's not used or whatever, but it would be wasteful.
realistically, that's your money to keep. So as long as the money that they gave you up front, the depreciation, you only receive that once you do the work. So what they gave you right now is supposed to go to that. But if I come along and I buy the house and you didn't complete the work, you're just canceling that policy anyways, and it's just your money to keep. So you definitely did not send it back to the insurance company. They got plenty. Okay.
It sounds like they wanted it back because they said they wanted receipts of everything that was done, and therefore.
But that's the how much money did they hold back from you?
Well, again, there's in two phases. I had some work done earlier, and they already covered that. But then there's the next one, and I don't have a full estimate for that yet.
Gotcha.
So I don't have it from the insurance company yet.
I gotcha.
Probably no sooner than next week.
Well, we can figure that out. That's not a big deal. We deal with that too. I mean, it's like it's all the same to me. I mean, at the end of the day, we can figure out if whatever needs to happen there. So, all right, Bob. Well, I've got your email. So this is me getting his email, sending the contract.
Can I get your name and your company name again? I don't remember.
Yes, sir. So my name is RJ Bates. That's Bates.
All right.
And my company is Titanium Investments.
Okay. And this number that is on my phone is good to get you if I need to?
Yes, sir. So this is the office line. So when you call in, you can just ask for me.
Okay. Great. Yes, I think this would be an ideal situation for me.
Agreed. Now that I have a full grasp as to what's going on and kind of the magnitude of the situation, you know, I think this could be a good fit. Prior to that, it was kind of like, listen, man, you got a beautiful house. Like, go get your money. You know, it's like, okay, there's a little bit of distress factor there with what's going on with the rehab with the house, and it's going to elongate the process. Yeah, looking at 5-6 mortgage payments, and you have 2 mortgage payments, I think, yeah, this fits a little bit better for my situation where I come in. So yeah, let me see if I can help you out there, and I'll get that contract sent over to you here today. Okay, Bob?
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. There you go. Embrace no. Ask questions. Be authentic. Come up with solutions. There literally nothing more could have been explained to that seller than if he were sitting in the office. Like the exact explanation that I gave to him was the explanation that I gave to my team as to what was going to go on. He's got a property that he's going to finish rehabbing, but he can't finish rehabbing it for several weeks. Then he's going to list it on the retail market, but he wants to retire. He doesn't want to make 5 to 6 more mortgage payments. Hey, if we could come along, he's open to giving it. His motivation matches our price. If we give him that price, he can get rid of this. He can be done, and it opens up an opportunity for us. He knew exactly what was going to go on. He knew exactly how the inspection period was going to go on. He knew that there was a possibility of a renegotiation of price. And this is a conversation that started off with, I am skeptical of how this could be real. He was skeptical of how it could be real. And I can guarantee you this, if I did not continue through that conversation with being real and raw and authentic with him, that does not end with a signed contract. This is why I'm a firm believer that every single time we're on the phone with a seller, if you go in with the intentions of just being honest, telling the truth, Embracing no when you're not the right solution, not trying to manufacture a deal. No, go find a deal. That's what a wholesaler is. We are deal finders, not deal manufacturers. Go into it, find the good deals, find the people that need our help like he did. When I didn't know that he needed our help, the answer was go hire a realtor. That they solve your problem. Then he said, well, hold on. Let me tell you a couple more problems I have. Once I understood those problems, it was, okay, we probably are your best solution now. I see where I fit. And even at the end, I am telling him that. At first, I didn't think I was your best solution. Now, I understand I absolutely am your best solution. I can promise you, he saw and he felt that authenticity throughout that phone call, and that's what led to him signing that contract. Nikki says, hey, how do you handle complicated landlords who are struggling with eviction? Well, two different ways. One, you can buy the property at a steeper discount and then wholesale it, dispo it with the eviction in place and have your end buyer actually handle the eviction. Okay, that's one of the ways. The other way is you can actually just help them through the eviction process as long as you have it under contract. But that's a sticky situation because at some point in time, it's like you can't force someone to sell you a property, so you could solve the problem without actually getting it. I'd say each one of those is going to be like a one-off individual scenario where it's like, why are they struggling with eviction, right? Is it state-related? Is this like a California problem because that's just a difficult state to evict in? Is it a financial problem? Like, there's probably a deeper problem than the actual eviction, and that's the problem that you probably need to solve. Mark says, love the no BS approach. Thank you. Pride myself on that. How would you negotiate the price when the inspection shows it's not worth the agreed price made earlier? With the exact same way I just had that conversation, with blunt facts and truth. Hey, after doing the inspection, this is what came back, and this is why the price needs to change. This is what we thought, and this is what it is, and this is what the number needs to be. Truth, honesty. You can't beat it. No one can beat telling the truth and being honest. It just can't be beat. And it feels damn good running your business that way, I can promise you. Nick says the essentialist approach to selling. Facts. Titanium University just had its first book club meeting, and our first book that we read was the Essentialism. I'm sorry. I am the essentialist now. And we realize a lot of the closer's formula is based around the principles in essentialism. So it's cool. See, any other questions? I've also been dealing with sellers who set a price, but then go ghost. You constantly contact them like every other day. I'm dealing with sellers who would answer an unknown call, but ghost me. Not every other day, every day. I mean, if you agree on a price, I mean, you got to get them on the phone. The other thing is maybe change the process. Why are you getting off the phone and then send them a contract? They're agreeing to a price, not signing. There's probably a problem there with the closing process. There's something that's coming up mentally where they're feeling like maybe they're not trusting you. They're not understanding the process. I'd probably do a better job of setting the expectations of your process, explaining how that's going to go, build some rapport there at the end with them through your credibility. And then that's going to lead to more signed contracts. And then also try to get the contract signed before you get off the phone. That will help. That's the ultimate help of getting ghosted by a seller. All right, guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, today, August 6th, 2024 is our 12-year anniversary of being entrepreneurs. And because of that, we're going to go play a round of golf. Titanium Investments is about to go golfing. I got a tee time in 24 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to go crush the course, baby. Today's goal, 79. That's today's goal. Shoot a 79. Love you. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to have fun. Hope you got value out of today's video. We'll see you guys tomorrow.